What if I told you that a group of average students were turned into geniuses simply by their teacher's belief? In the 1960s, a groundbreaking study revealed a hidden superpower. The way we frame our expectations can transform reality. Researchers Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson were studying what is referred to as the Pygmalion effect. In this study, the teachers were told that certain students in their class were expected to be intellectual bloomers and would show significant academic improvement over the year. But the truth was that the students were chosen at random and were no different from their peers in terms of academic ability. And what the study found was the students labeled bloomers did in fact show academic improvement relative to their peers by the end of the study period. Specifically, the bloomers gained an average of 2 IQ points in verbal ability, 7 points in reasoning, and 4 points in overall IQ, illustrating how our frames, our expectations, and our assumptions really do impact our reality. And the key to all of this is language. The words that we use shape our perception and our reality, not for only ourselves, but also the people around us. To help you harness this hidden superpower, I want to give you 4 fantastically simple framing strategies to help you positively shape your reality and those that you coach and lead. The first one is nouns. Yes, I know that's not very exciting, but using the power of nouns and our labels for the things that we have in our life can actually be quite powerful. And that's really what happened when you think about the study with the intellectual bloomers. They gave them a label, and that shaped the way that we interacted with those specific students. So they've also done studies with negative labeling, and of course you might imagine there's negative effects and reduced performance that happens with negative labeling. So in addition to dealing with how we label people, we can also look at other things that we experience in life, including problems. Instead of referring to something as a problem, you can frame it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become better than we were yesterday. The word opportunity has a different energy. It gives us a different frame of reference than the word problem. Same thing happens with failure. A lot of times people have fear of failure. Well, the reality is if we relabel it, in fact, in neuro-linguistic programming NLP, there's a presupposition that there is no such thing as failure, only feedback. And that itself gives us the frame that if we label things not as failure, not as disappointment, but an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to get feedback, we're changing the labeling, but we're also changing our relationship to that experience overall. Instead of an issue, we can use the word a snag. Or if you're having a fight, maybe it's not a fight, maybe it's just a squabble or a lover's quarrel, if you will. Just the labeling itself changes our relationship to the thing, which is why we're talking about nouns. That's number 1. Number 2 is modal operators, which is a fancy way of saying operating in the mode of possibility or impossibility, as in can, can't, or must, mustn't, should, shouldn't. And what it really communicates is the energy behind the language. Consider the energy differences between the two following sets of sentences. So I have to go to work versus I get to go to work. Have to is like, I don't want to, but I have to. I get to is more about opportunity rather than necessity. Here's another one. I should eat better versus I want to eat better. I should is like, I don't want to, but I know that I should, or my doctor says, or society says that I should do this other thing, but I don't really want to. When you say I want to, there's a level of desire and there's ownership. There's a different quality of energy that's communicated. And by simply changing your language, you would change your experience of it. And the third way that we can frame things differently for ourselves and others is through adjective-adverb modifiers. Adjectives describe things and adverbs describe processes or action words. So you say to your spouse or your kid or someone you work with, listen, I have a project I'd like your help on. It's going to be really fun. Or, hey, this weekend I have an idea, something we can do that'll be really exciting. Well, all of a sudden you're framing things in a way that brings up fun and excitement. So the moment you say, I have something we can do that's going to be fun and exciting, all of a sudden expectations of fun, exciting actually come up for this person. Or maybe there's a big problem you're working on at work, and instead of calling it a problem, we call it an opportunity. Instead of making it difficult, we call it challenging. Oh, I have a perfect challenge for you. I think you're going to find that it's really rewarding. So now we're painting pictures in the minds of others, because everything you say can and does impact the people that are listening to you. An example for the adverb is assuming how someone can do something. If you want to positively frame how you believe someone can get something done, instead of just saying, yeah, I know you can get it done by 5 o'clock. Oh, you can get this done easily or effortlessly. Oh, I think you're gonna get this done really quickly. Presupposes those things inside of our language. That's how we can use adjective, adverb modifiers to frame other people's experiences. And the fourth and final one we're gonna look at is something I think you're gonna find to be really fun, and you're gonna be able to use it quickly, easily, and effortlessly. And that is the word or. Not the paddle thing, OAR, but rather the word or, as in now or later. And technically this is referred to as a double bind, where you're giving someone a choice of two things out of a seemingly infinite sea of choices that do exist. We're limiting the cognitive load that exists to help people make better, easier decisions. So do you want to buy the red one or the blue one? Do you want to meet today or tomorrow? Now, another way to use this is if someone is giving you a limited set of choices. For example, your client, your team member says, I have to do this. Well, they're fixed. They don't see the infinite sea of choices. So to help them expand their awareness to shape the frame with which they're looking at the current set of possibilities in front of them, you simply have to say, or, so I have to get this done today, or, and now we've opened up the conversation and they can begin to look at other possibilities that actually exist. Now, as a world-class communicator, I know that you now have the ability to improve your communication by framing things easily and effortlessly, and that you have the ability to transform problems into challenges, turn I can't into I can, and describe tasks as fun and engaging. And you can start practicing these techniques now or in the future, or whenever it makes sense for you to begin now. And since you're here, I know that you want to learn more about framing, so check out the video on screen or the other videos in the series. I'll leave the links in the description. And until next time, develop yourself, empower others, and lead by example.